Hello, Todd Clemens, Okeechobee Livestock Market, and here's your weekly market report. On the national level, there's some very positive things happening. Competition needs to be increased in the meat processing plants. So the administration, the Biden administration, has put out $500 million in American Rescue Plan, and that's to help expand the meat and poultry processing capacities. So see, what this means is ever since back a couple years ago when the Tyson plant fire happened out there in Holcomb, Kansas, and then we had COVID and the workers couldn't get into the meat processing plants, the production levels went way down. 4 packers killing 80 to 85% of all the fat cattle in the country, and if anything happens to 1 or 2 of those, well, then it just shuts down commerce. And you remember when the meat supply counters in the grocery stores were bare, nobody could get meat, all that's what happened. So what this plan is going to do, they've looked at it, and we need to expand the meat processing plants. The government's put $500 million in to help smaller meat processors and to expand competition so that we'd have more than just the 4, because we want the food supply chain not to be broken with some little incident that happens at one of these plants that just shut the whole deal down. So the answer to that is have more plants and open it up. And so there's $500 million going into that. USDA also announced that there's $150 million for existing small and very small processing facilities to help them weather COVID and compete in the marketplace and get the support they need to reach more customers. So those are good things that are happening on the national level. So another part of that, USDA is also revitalizing the Packers and Stockyard Act, and they're issuing new rules on the product of USA labels. And the product of USA labels now, there's some loopholes in where foreign meat can possibly be in a package that says product of the USA, but it needs to be born, raised, and processed here in the US of A. So they're looking at these things, and all that is going to help, we think and hope, help competition and help put some more money back down into the ranchers and the producers' pockets, and not only the packers. So those things are happening there on the national level. Here locally, here in Okeechobee, we were shut down for the 4th, and then we had that little storm come through here, and everybody was scared and that it was going to be hurricane and winds and rain and all, and we didn't have many cattle last week after being closed down the week before that. So this week we bounced back, and it was big runs all over the state of Florida. Everybody was catching up for the last couple weeks. So here we had around 3,300 head for the 2 days, and those volumes like that put a lot of pressure on the prices. Man, we saw some good calves come through here. Framar, for one, had a lot of real big calves weighing from 500 to 600 pounds. They were mostly Charolais cross calves, and they sold good. Quality was great. Those calves had their shots, and they were ready to go. And a lot of other people had good cattle here too, but I just remember those specifically. But prices did fall off a little bit on the feeder classes due to the large volume in all the sale barns here in the state of Florida. But all in all, it was pretty good. We're still seeing some of those calves bringing $800 or better on the steer calves. The higher end, better quality calves probably were $6 to $8 cheaper. Some of the plainer cattle might have been more than that, $10 or $12 cheaper. But this time of year, July in Florida, and everybody's shipping and cattle are moving everywhere, trucks are hard to get, and things are going on. That's just usually what happens when we get into those big runs. On the slaughter end, cows are holding up pretty good. We still have some 70-cent cows, and that's pretty good money on those killer cows. And then we had some really good slaughter bulls in here this week that brought up in the 90s. I remember seeing a bull, I believe, brought $1 or $2. So the slaughter classes are holding their own pretty good, and there's a lot of cows out there. I know we're still holding some cows in those cow plants, are processing them and working through them the best they can. And hopefully here in a week or two they'll get pretty current. But just plan on calf prices being under pressure from just huge supplies. But everything's good. We're getting a little bit of rain, maybe some places too much, but grass is growing and cattle are in good shape, and everything's looking good. We had some high prices this week. 4L land and cattle had the high calf price at 190 pounds. It brought $2.40, bought by Foy Reynolds. And the slaughter cow high price was C.E. Whaley, St. Cloud, Florida, had a 1,415 pound cow that brought 73 cents, bought by Florida Beef. That's your market report. Thank you.